Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video, and this is the next important video that we are going to cover in this playlist of statistics for CS applications. So in this video we are actually going to look at the central limit theorem, and apart from that I'll be covering two terminologies that are very important in the testing of hypothesis, okay, in the further tutorials for statistical inference, I would say. So those two concepts are standard error and degree of freedom. So first of all, let us start with the central limit theorem itself. So what is central limit theorem? So this is the Wikipedia definition that you can find very easily out there, and it is I would say pretty much standard, okay, but I am also going to try to explain you the terms in basically layman term, okay, in layman's term. So in probability theory, the central limit theorem establishes that in some situations when independent random variables are added, their properly normalized sum tend towards a normal distribution even if the original variables themselves are not normally distributed. Okay, so the definition itself is, I would say, quite explanatory. Okay, anyone can read it and just figure out, but if you don't worry, I am going to cover it right now. So some points for easy interpretation. Okay, so what is basically central limit theorem? So far now what we have covered is basically a small portion of sampling, I would say. Okay, so what is sampling? So sampling is basically taking a sample from the population data. Okay, population data is the entire data that you have, and you derive a small sample from it. Okay, now, so when the samples are derived from normally distributed population, the samples are also normally distributed. Okay, so what this actually indicates? Okay, so I have actually covered the distributions in the last tutorial itself, I think. Okay, where normal distribution, basically the Gaussian distribution, is one of the method of the visualization in which you can pretty much visualize your data in such a manner that it is going to provide you with the spread how your data is basically spread out. Okay, so that is how it is been described. Okay, that is how we say normally distributed. So normally distributed is basically bell curve shaped. Okay, so yeah, so that is normal distribution, and you can check the further like the tutorials that I made earlier. If you are missing on some of the tutorials, what you can do is just go down in the description box, and there you can find the link itself, and then you can work on it. But there can be the cases where the population is not normally distributed or the values are less than 30. Okay, so sometimes it often happens that your data is in the chi-square distribution, okay, or let's say in the exponential distribution, uniform distribution. There are a lot of distributions, okay, Poisson distribution, anything, and they can be in those distributions, but still you want to derive the sample from it. Okay, and it is usually, I would say, imperative to derive a sample that is actually normal distributed. Okay, the population which is normally distributed. Deriving a sample of some another, I would say, distributed data set is pretty much difficult. And the second thing is that if the values are less than 30, okay, now this is where the problem starts. Alright, so if your values are less than 30, like the population itself is less than 30, then deriving a sample is extremely difficult. So the derived relationship between the shape of the population mean and shape of the sampling mean is central limit theorem. Okay, so what is basically central limit theorem? That is what we have to cover. Okay, so whenever you derive the relationship between a population mean, so whenever you visualize your population mean, and you can just pretty much have a look at it, and you can figure out that which distribution the particular data lies in. Okay, so it can be normally distributed, exponentially, uniformly, or let's say chi-square, anything. Okay, there are a lot of distributions. I'm not going to cover all of the distributions because that pretty much comes under the section of the probability. I might in the future tutorials. Okay, so I'll just try to make one prerequisite video in which I'll try to cover the distributions. Okay, so various types of distributions, and I don't think that it is imperative right now to include that one in this course. Okay, so deriving the relationship between the shape of the population mean and shape of the sampling mean. So this is central limit theorem. So it states that as the size of the sample increases, the sample mean turns out to be normally distributed. Okay, so like I said, if it is less than 30, definitely it is going to cause an issue, but whenever it is like more than 30, or I would say it just goes on increasing. Okay, it becomes 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so then most likely your spread out, the data which is spread out is going to turn out to be normally distributed. Okay, so this is one of the law of the central limit theorem, and this is how it looks. Okay, so I have got this from the source that I have mentioned below. Okay, I was actually going through some articles to teach the CLT. Okay, CLT is basically central limit theorem. So the distribution that you can see over here in the above are basically Bernoulli, Poisson, exponential, mu shaped, and uniform. Okay, so uniform distribution is completely in one single plane. Okay, there are no fluctuations in it. Bernoulli is basically closely related to the binomial distribution. Okay, you have the binary values that you consider. Okay, so 0 and 1. Poisson, you have it exponentially it can rise or decrease. Okay, and one that you can see is U-shape, which pretty much defines what it is. Okay, so all of these, when we are deriving the sample in a particular manner, we come to this conclusion that they are normally distributed. Okay, so the sample mean is basically normally distributed, so that is we can derive from the central limit theorem. Now actually there is a formula for central limit theorem, and I will actually also be calculating the central limit theorem, but not at the moment. Okay, we will try to keep it aside and not include it in at this moment, I would say. Okay, because I don't think that it is pretty much necessary right now in this tutorial. Okay, when we will actually be putting it into practice in some or the other sum, we will actually try to include it. Okay, then the next concept that I want to cover, which plays extremely important role in the statistical inference. Okay, whenever you want to perform like estimation or testing of hypothesis, this thing you cannot ignore. Okay, this is degree of freedom, and I actually also said that I am going to cover the degree of freedom in the last tutorial itself. So number of independent observations, we derive the statistics. Okay, this is the most basic definition that you can come across. Okay, I don't think that there is much to explain in this, but still I'll try something or the other. So values are free to vary and have no dependence. Okay, so basically independent itself defines that there is no dependence. Okay, so independent observations are like which have less, I would say, correlation. Okay, they don't have dependence with each other. Okay, and they pretty much tend to derive the statistic. Okay, so degree of freedom is equal to number of the independent observations minus the number of the parameters estimated. Okay, so that is the generalized formula that we consider for it. But just to reduce the complexity, so for the population it can be considered as n. Okay, so n number of samples, n is my degree of freedom. And for sample, like whenever I have my sample mean, or sample, basically sample set. Okay, sample, like just like the population data, I have my sample data, we consider it n minus 1. Okay, so this is the degree of freedom. And the next concept that I want to cover in this tutorial is standard error. Okay, so standard error also does play an extremely important role when it comes to the hypothesis testing. Okay, for now you don't have to just focus on this one, but just let us try to keep it aside. Okay, just explain. I am trying to explain you the terminologies. Just grasp the terminologies, and I'll actually teach you how to put each and everything into practice. Okay, we will also try to perform some of the other examples, I would say. So it is measure of variability in the different values of the sample mean. Okay, that is the first thing. Okay, measure of variability. So what is variability? Variability is like, okay, the name itself defines that what is variability. Okay, so in layman terms, okay, I would say that standard error statistic is standard deviation of the derived sampling distribution. Okay, so basically standard deviation you already have calculated for the population mean, but whenever you derive a particular, I would say, sample mean from the population mean, okay, basically sampling distribution. Okay, so this is closely related to the sampling distribution where my mean is considered always 0. Okay, so my mu is equal to 0. So for that we have to calculate our standard deviation, and this standard deviation is going to consider n as n minus 1. Okay, basically it is going to consider the sample. So it is used to give reliability of the estimate. Okay, so estimate also I'll be trying to okay, but the name itself suggests what is estimate. Estimate is you are estimating something. Okay, you want to find the probability of something, and you definitely estimate it. Okay, so and so is going to be the probability of this so and so test case. Okay, so that is how we say it. So reliability of the estimate, that how very well functioning is your estimate, or how much practicality is associated with your estimate, that is the definition of the reliability. Okay, it also gives precision of the estimate. Okay, so this precision I'll be covering much later. Okay, so it is one of the, I would say, concept linked to the machine learning also. I might have covered in the some tutorials. Yeah, I have covered. Okay, you can just go in my playlist in my channel and you can find that I have precision recall. Okay, so smaller the value of the standard error, greater the reliability. Okay, smaller the value of the standard error, greater the reliability. So basically it is inversely proportional. It can be also considered as the uniformity of the derived sampling distribution. Okay, so one or the other terms that is also been given is derived sampling distribution. For that we say uniformity instead of reliability. Okay, yeah, so this is it for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial I don't know what I might be covering. I might cover confidence intervals. Okay, I'll just start with the statistical inference and interval estimation, and then we will just move on to the confidence interval construction. Okay, so those are the things. Now actually we are going to dive into the statistical inference and then test of significance and everything, basically everything about the hypothesis and everything. Okay, now we are actually going a notch up. Okay, so the difficulty level is pretty much going to be more than this one that I have taught in the earlier sessions, but earlier sessions are definitely the prerequisite for the whatever you are going to cover in the future tutorials. Okay, so definitely I would say that if you have your basics sorted out and if you have gone through all my earlier videos, this is not going to be an issue. Okay, so whatever you are going to cover in the upcoming videos, definitely you can grasp it very easily, I would say. Okay, there is not going to be much problem. I'll just say that. Okay, so yeah, so we will try to cover each and every single thing. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll try my level best with my best belief and knowledge. And apart from that, I would say that if you like my content, please do subscribe to my channel. Okay, it does help me. Okay, and you can also get the better reach of my channel. Okay, so whenever I am posting a new video, you are about to get a notification. Okay, so just you can click on the bell icon. And apart from that, if you like the video, just spread the knowledge, spread the word. Okay, and yeah, so that's it for this tutorial. Goodbye.